Today we'll talk about the history of iOS from the very beginning. iPhone OS 1. It was in 2007. The original iPhone OS was Apple's fundamental achievement. The first smartphone of the corporation worked on a modified version of OS X, and the company's implementation of the operating system. In the bottom uneditable dock were phone with voicemail, post office, Safari, iPod as a music, photos, camera, YouTube, calculator, stocks, Google Maps, weather, notes, clock, settings. Now it looks ridiculous, but that's all that was on the iPhone. In some places resembled physical objects. For example, notes were very similar to a real notebook. However, the iPhone OS has many features that have made iPhone famous and known to the majority of users so far. Gesture slide to unlock, gesture of approaching photos with 2 fingers, pinch to zoom, tag search, copy and paste. All this will appear only in future versions of the system. Also at that time there was no iCloud Cloud, the release of new iPhone models. iPhone OS 2. It was announced in March 2008. Released on July 11, 2008. The main difference between the new operating system and iPhone owners could download it for free. Among the significant innovations, one can distinguish support for push notifications in the mail, downloading pictures from Safari, parental control. 2009. Released on June 17, 2009. This update is especially noteworthy, after which the software platform was renamed to iOS. One of the key changes has been the ability to copy and paste text. Also in the company's tablets and smartphones, Spotlight Search appeared. The number of desktops and crop pictures. However, many of these innovations were not available on the original iPhone. The first Apple smartphone received a limited set of features. Actually, this was obvious, since in the original iPhone Apple began releasing noticeably stripped-down versions of iOS for older gadgets, as well as abandoning support for legacy devices. For example, with the release of iOS 4, support for the first iPhone and iPod Touch models disappeared. In this version of the operating ranges, it is worth noting, FaceTime, a program for making video calls, for Apple devices only. Support for AirPrint wireless printers. iOS 5 announced on June 6, 2011. Released on October 12, 2011. A key innovation was the emergence of Siri's voice assistant, iPod and iPad on the computer. For the first time, the new firmware could be downloaded over the air to the power of, bypassing iTunes. It is also worth separately highlighting new gestures to control the tablet. Key to start the camera from the lock screen, 2012. Released on September 19, 2012. One of the most boring and unsuccessful updates to the Apple mobile platform, get rid of Google services. The product turned out to be of low quality and even dangerous. Some users of the mapping service application at that time, Tim Cook, had to apologize. No significant changes were submitted. The Passbook app, now Wallet, appeared, and Siri migrated to tablets and players. iOS 7. It was announced on June 10. Plain and the abundance of white replaced skeuomorphism and tangibility. Joni, I've completely rethought the system and redesigned everything to your taste. New animations, which significantly reduced productivity. Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that many very important changes have appeared in this version of the operating system that have increased list of contacts. iTunes Radio, audio calls and FaceTime. iOS 8. It was announced on June 2, 2014. Released on September 17, 2014. Extensions and widgets that enhance the functionality of their applications. Extensions were located in the Share to the Power of menu, and widgets in the notification SMS from a tablet and computer without touching the smartphone. Also earn new services of the corporation, Apple Pay and Apple Music. The company entered the music streaming market and allowed proprietary equipment owners to use the iPhone and Apple Watch as a wallet. Support for third-party keyboards. iCloud Drive branded cloud voice messaging in iMessage. iOS 9 announced on June 8, 2015. Released on September 16, 2015. A massive update simultaneously significantly affected the user experience. increasing the productivity of the gadget owners. In addition to the ambiguity in the iPad, Apple introduced since the iPhone was released, the Notes application was updated. From now on, it was possible to draw in them. The 3D Touch function was activated in new smartphones, and in later releases Apple turned on Night Shift, a special image mode on the device's display that reduces eye strain, and a lone application for iCloud Drive. iOS 10 it was announced on June 13, 2016. Released on September, changed a lot. Now interactive notifications are displayed on it, and with a swipe gesture to the right, a screen with widgets is called up. There was a long-awaited opportunity to delete to the power of standard applications. In fact, they simply hid the appearance of the music and maps applications for third-party developers. In the United States, the function of sending money through the corporate messenger of the corporation was the first to work. The screenshot log of Finder in macOS. Also, Apple developers updated the portrait mode of the camera in the iPhone with 2 lenses, adding a simulation of studio lighting. Large-scale changes have affected the tablets. The iPad has a dock with application. iOS 12 it was announced on June 5, 2018. Released in the fall of September 17, 2008 for Siri, enhanced support for artificial intelligence in the Photos application, as well as the long-awaited activity control mode. Thanks to the latter, users will be able to monitor how much time they earned. 2019. It was released in the fall of September 19, 2019. Key innovations: Night mode, new gestures for copying text, increase in productivity, improved ambiguity mode,